Welcome back to DIY with KB. If you're new here, my name is Kiva and I teach people how to achieve the Let's Look for Less. So many of you guys are first-time homeowners, and first I want to say congratulations. But buying a new home or even moving to a new apartment can be super daunting. What do I need? I don't know. I'm so overwhelmed. So in today's video, I'm giving you 10 essentials that every new homeowner needs. These are the things that you're not thinking about, but that are going to ease your transition so much. Before we get into today's video, please remember to subscribe, like this video, and check me out on Instagram. And if you want me to design your home, click the link in my description box for my virtual design sessions. Now let's get into today's video. Now, while I've marketed this video to new homeowners, this is for anyone who is moving into their first apartment or their first home. Now, new construction is really what I'm tailoring this to because it is a unique experience. No one has lived in that house before. There are no freebies thrown in there. It is an entirely blank slate, and that means you have to have all your ducks in a row, and it can be super daunting. So hopefully I'm able to tell you about some things that you would have never thought about but are going to improve your experience tenfold. So the first thing that you need when you're moving into a new place is a ladder. And you're like, what? Why do I need a ladder? They painted the house for me. What do I need to do? You need a ladder. So ladders are really helpful because one day you're gonna have to change your fire alarm batteries. You're gonna need to put in new light bulbs. You need to be able to access those things so that you don't have to wait until the next day when those things become burdensome. There's nothing worse than waking up at 3 a.m. to your fire alarm chirping and then you can't reach it. So it's a really, really good thing to have. What I always recommend is that you get a ladder that's actually extendable. So it's all the time, it's pretty short, just like this little giant that I'm showing to you right here. That's the one that I have. And it's pretty short ordinarily, so I can use it as a basic step stool. But if I need to get up to like the top of my 16-foot ceilings, I can extend it and I can do whatever it is I need to do. Getting an extendable ladder just prevents you from having to buy multiple different types of ladders because then you have to worry about how to store those things, and that can be burdensome. I actually really love this ladder because it's pretty lightweight. I can carry it around myself, which I think is saying something because I can't carry anything. And this has just made living in a home so much easier. Now, the next item you need is a paint set. Again, like I said, sure, they might have just painted your new home, but there is a 100% chance that you're gonna scuff something up and you're gonna need to refresh that paint. You don't always wanna rely on a painter to have to come in and touch things up. You wanna be able to do that yourself. You're gonna put holes in the wall, you're gonna need to spackle them, and you want the whole space to look uniform, so it's really nice to actually have a paint set on hand. On Amazon, there are things just like this one. It comes with a few different types of rollers, a big one, a small one, some standard paint brushes, and like a paint pan. So you have everything you need to kind of get a paint project going. And this is also great, not just if you just moved in, but if you want to add an accent wall and kind of make your home a little bit more yours. This is a really great tool to do that with. Item number 3 is a vacuum. Now, I am passionate about vacuums. You need a new vacuum, especially when you're moving into a new construction home because there is a ton of dust. They just built that house, so there's tons of dust. I know it looks nice and sparkling clean, but the dust is just raining down on you. I know my house is new construction and the dust just won't quit, and it's been 3 years. So you really need to have a good vacuum because you want to keep your space feeling nice and clean. And again, when you're moving in, you have tons of plastic, you're opening up so many new packages, and you're getting little pieces of debris on the ground, and we want to be able to clean that up super swiftly. Now, what I really think is that you actually need 2 types of vacuums. Not only do you need just like your normal Dyson or your like nice little push vacuum that is cordless and you can walk around with it, but you also need a plug-in vacuum, a corded vacuum, because they tend to have a little bit more power, and that's going to be really good if you're doing any DIY projects and you have like sawdust or something like that, because it's really easy actually to clog those those handheld vacuums, and you don't want to ruin something that you spent like $500 on. So having the 2 vacuums are really good. And if you're one of those people who just has a robot vacuum, you just have a Roomba, I'm telling you, you gotta upgrade, you gotta get something else. When you first move in, people are asking what you want as a housewarming present, and a vacuum is the perfect thing. So many of you say to me all the time, you're not handy, I'm not gonna do that stuff. Well, you're gonna do it, especially when you're moving into a new home. You wanna decorate, you wanna change some things, so you need a standard toolkit. And you don't just need a screwdriver, you need a screwdriver, a hammer, a wrench, and you need a drill. So you need to get a standard toolkit with a drill. I know you're like, a screwdriver, I don't need to learn how to do that, that's intuitive. Drills are also pretty intuitive, and I'm telling you, they come with so much more power, and you just get the job done a lot faster. This is going to enable you to obviously make those modifications to your home faster than if you're waiting for someone else to do it. I think when people first move into a home, it's really daunting and you're like, I can't do anything myself. This is your home. This is how you start learning. That's how I fell into DIY. We bought our first home and I was just like, let's just figure it out. And that's exactly what we did. So get that standard toolkit and kind of learn how to do stuff, but you need this to kind of learn how to live in a house. The fifth item that you need when you move into a new home is a tape measure. So this is controversial, but when you move into a house, they give you those really nice floor plans and you're like, it's all here. So chances are you're probably gonna lose that floor plan, or you don't really know how to read a floor plan because there's so much stuff going on. And floor plans aren't always exactly the way the house turned out. Sometimes they make modifications. They don't end up installing the thing that they thought they were gonna install. So things are off by a little bit. And when you're moving into a new home, that chances are you are furnishing something brand new, and that means you're spending a lot of money on furniture. So we want to make sure that you know the size of the room so that you can actually buy furniture that is appropriately sized, because we don't want you wasting money and we also don't want you wasting time. It took forever for your home to be built. I know that that's the case. So we want to get it furnished as quickly as possible. So if we know the correct dimensions, chances are we can order the right thing the first time around and get our house looking like a home. Before I tell you about the 6 essentials for your brand new home, I want to thank Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Skillshare is an online learning community for curious and creative people like you. No matter what your interests are, there is a Skillshare class perfectly tailored to your interests. Explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity. They have classes in interior design, graphic design, photography, and thousands of other subjects, so there is always something that will interest you. Interior design can be so daunting because so many people get fixated on trends and don't stop to figure out a design style that works for them. In Style Your Space, Creative Tips and Techniques for Interior Design by Emily Henderson, Henderson makes interior design accessible by focusing on you. She has a very rigid but approachable list of steps on how to create your space. My favorite portion of the class was titled Identify Your Style. Instead of focusing on trends and color, Emily just asked you to pick the things that resonate with you. It wasn't about color scheme or trends. It was just about making a quick decision based upon what you innately enjoy. In fact, Emily says style, not function. In all, she makes design fun and exciting, not something to get frustrated about. The best part about Skillshare is that there are no ads. Skillshare is fully dedicated to helping you swiftly deepen and find new passions. Skillshare is also super affordable, with the annual membership being less than $10 a month. If you're interested in unlocking your passions with Skillshare, the first 1,000 people to click the link in my description box will get a free premium trial membership of Skillshare. The 6th essential that you need when you're a new homeowner is a level. So a lot of people actually don't use levels, and I'm telling you, they're going to change your life. A level basically makes sure that something is at the right level and that it is not crooked. Levels have become increasingly more important because gallery walls are super popular right now. And there's nothing worse than a 6 set of artwork where everything is at a different level. It just doesn't look crisp and clean, and it kind of takes the significance away from the artwork. And whether you're putting up your own artwork of your favorite artist, or even family portraits up, you want to be able to see them and you don't want anybody to be distracted by how you put them up. Now, obviously a lot of pictures now come with templates, but when you have a level, you don't need that. Not only can you use a level to make sure things aren't crooked, but it's also a really great spacer. The 7th item you need in your new home is a furniture pad. And when I say is a furniture pad, I mean you need like 200 furniture pads. So when you're moving around furniture, you're gonna scuff up your floor. When you're moving into a new home, you have that brand new hardwood or that brand new laminate, and you do not wanna scratch it. You should come see the floors in my house, you guys. There are scratches all everywhere, and it keeps me up at night. Furniture pads are so cheap. You can get them on Amazon. You can even get them at stores like Ross or Big Lots, and they really make a huge difference because not only does it prevent you from scratching your floors, but it also just makes it a lot easier to move heavy furniture because it can glide instead of you having to like push it and deal with the resistance from the floor. Plus, when you have these, you don't have to carry things because again, they glide. So furniture pads can really revolutionize your space. Obviously, they're not gonna work when you have carpet, but if you have hardwood, if you have tile, these are phenomenal. Now, all I do is go on and on about how much I love spackle, and I tend to use it for artwork, but spackle is also crucially important when you move into a new home. I'm telling you, you're gonna put a painting in the wrong place, or you're gonna put a hole by accident because you didn't use the furniture pads and you picked up something and you actually banged it into the wall. So we want to be able to repair our walls. We don't wanna have to call a guy out, and we don't wanna leave a gash on our wall. How do we do that? Well, if it is a hole that isn't too deep or it isn't too big, we're gonna go in with spackle. My all-time favorite spackle is actually Dry Deck Spackle because it goes on pink and dries white. So it lets you know when it is actually dry. If you're anything like me, the second you put that spackle on, you wanna paint over it, and that's exactly what you don't wanna do, because chances are you're gonna paint over it, it's gonna look messed up, it's gonna look bumpy, and you're gonna have to do it all over again. Trust me. Okay, I haven't learned from this mistake, but you should learn from what I'm saying. So the Dry Deck is fantastic because, again, it lets you know when something is ready to, be painted over. First, you want to sand, and what I actually really love is this Dry Deck actually comes in this really cool tube, and it actually is nail shaped, so you can just put it right in a hole. You don't have to worry about the spackling tool, but you can also get it with like a spackle tool, and it works super duper well. Last but not least, you can also get these little kits that has the spackle. It also has the mesh in case your hole is a little bit bigger than anticipated, and it makes it a lot easier to repair those little holes. The next item that you need that you probably aren't thinking about is you either need curtains or you need blinds. So you're like, what does that mean? So not every home comes with those things, especially if it's new construction. You may not have decided what curtains you want or what blinds you want, so you're leaving yourself completely exposed. Even if you have windows that have some type of tinting on them, at nighttime the tinting just doesn't work in the same way. It really protects you against the sun, but it does not protect you from the darkness. So if you have the lights on in your house, people can see right in, which can be super dangerous. So we want to make sure that we either get some curtains up or we get some blinds. Now, some people don't like those things. They want to have 100% access to that natural light, and they don't want to have to deal with moving their curtains or putting up their blinds during the day. So if that's what you're going to want to do, I want you to go ahead and get a security system the second you move in. It just ensures that you stay safe, and if anything happens, there's a recording of it, and you can share that information with the police, because there's nothing worse than buying your first home or moving into your new home and one, being violated or not feeling safe in your own neighborhood. It's really important to feel safe in your home. So if you're not open to the curtains or blinds, let's get a security system, but honestly, I think you should do both. The last thing you need when you move into your new home is an extension cord. And I don't just mean any rinky-dink extension cord, I mean one of those mega huge extension cords, because outlets are not placed where you want them to be. It has to do with how they design the house. You're not gonna be like, move this outlet for me. It's inconveniencing. Well, you can do that, but it's normally when you have a lot of money to blow. And for most people, that's just not something super practical. But you don't want your outlets to determine your design. It is your home, so it should look exactly the way you want it to look. So if you get really long extension cords, you can kind of, get around whatever your design challenges are when it comes to light. Now, what I recommend is actually getting one of the extension cords that's pretty malleable. So they tend to be the braided extension cords so that they move better around edges and stuff like that as compared to the ones that are lined with rubber. When choosing your extension cords, I also want you to choose ones that are longer than you would anticipate. You never know what type of furniture you need to wrap it around, or how many plugs you're gonna need. Last but not least, I also want you to consider color when you are choosing your extension cord. The color of your walls really dictates that. Clear isn't always best. Sometimes black is better, or brown, or green. It just depends on what your room looks like and what your floors look like. So consider this before you buy an extension cord. I know it seems like something super trivial. An extension cord is an extension cord, but it just isn't. Okay guys, those are 10 essentials that you need when you're moving into a new home. I know those things are really basic, but they're so important. They're going to make living in a new home so much easier for you, because you don't have to worry about running out in the middle of the night to get certain things, or having to order something and not knowing what to do, because I've taken care of that for you. Let me know down below if you're a new homeowner. Let me know if you need more tips. I have tons of them. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Again, if you're interested in Skillshare, click the link in my description box for the free trial of premium Skillshare membership. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and until next time, have a beautiful day.